I want to make this video to talk to some of my friends. I won't name you by name, as I don't know whether you want to be part of this conversation or not. But the issues that we're facing right now are extremely serious. Now, I know that many of you do not like Donald Trump, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. If you don't want to vote for him, that's fine. I have no issue with that. I understand he's not for everybody. But I want to talk about why you shouldn't vote for Hillary Clinton. And to me, it's very simple. We have irrefutable evidence of collusion, of corruption. This woman, for her entire life, has done nothing but leech off the public. At the end of this video, at the end of my ranting, I'm going to post a few facts and also a few videos that I suggest you go through. These are videos that are in Russian, of Vladimir Putin, of the generals, of the Russian generals, as well as the American general response. And I'm going to put them in the order of which the responses occur, and also how China fits into this. Now keep in mind, I live in China, so the news I get is very different. Now I do get US news, but I get the experience of being in a different area of the world, in a country that's not necessarily friendly to my own. And so I get a different perspective of how people feel. Hillary Clinton, just to name a few things, she made over $650 million while she was Secretary of State. Let that sink in for a moment. She was Secretary of State and she made over $750 million. The Clinton Foundation has taken in more than $4 billion in the last 30 years. Where did that money come from? It came primarily from Saudi Arabia. It came from people like George Soros. It came from friends of Bill's. This woman, she started her career, she says, defending. Well, actually, she'll start to use a southern tone if she's in the south, which is my very terrible southern tone, but she's in the north, she changes it. And when she speaks, she tells you that she started her career defending poor African Americans and defending the blah blah blah. And I'll put a small clip of her saying that bullshit. No, one of her first cases was defending a rapist. He raped a 9-year-old girl, put her in a coma, and she got him off. And we have her, and I'm going to put this here after I say this section just so you can hear it. We have her admitting that she knew that he was guilty. She knew a rapist was guilty and she got him off because she's a lawyer and she got paid. Now she says that she came from humble backgrounds and her father worked so hard. Bullshit. Her family was rich. There is nothing but frustration right now in the country. Whether you are a liberal or a progressive, and I hope if you are, you understand what that actually means, or whether you are conservative like myself, or whether you don't care and you're in the middle, which, let's face it, that's most people. This election should worry you. This election determines whether Western civilization lives or dies. And yes, it is that serious. If this woman is allowed to become president, understand this: she has been caught lying, deleting emails. After, this is just mind-blowing, after the Senate ordered her to turn the emails over, she erased everything. That is illegal. The fact that the head of the FBI happened to be a good friend of Bill's before, and Obama gave him the promotion, that doesn't mean anything, right? The fact that the Attorney General was meeting in private on an airplane with her husband, which is again against the law, just shows you that the entire system is so corrupt. I'm happy in a sense that it's finally coming out, what we've been saying for years. But you cannot put this monster into the White House. Donald Trump may not be perfect. You may not like him. Vote for Gary Johnson. Vote for Jill Stein. Actually, between the two, vote for Jill Stein. Don't vote for Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson doesn't know his ass from his mouth. But do not vote for Hillary Clinton. You can say all the negative and nasty things about Donald Trump. There are checks and balances to stop him from doing a lot of what he says he's going to do. There are no checks and balances to stop Hillary Clinton because she is corrupt. Her friends are in power. Most of the senators have done the same things. Her husband, the reason her husband's rape allegations are important because she defended him. She intimidated the women. She takes money from, she says, I'm from LGBT, and she says, you know, that whole democratic way of saying it, where you stand up, you expose your front line, it's all about body language, and you start to, you move your body as you are saying it. I mean, this is a whole science behind this. It's called the science of body language, and it works beautifully if you've mastered it, which most politicians are. And most politicians happen to be lawyers, and there's an issue with that. There's a very big problem with that. Look, this is what I want you to think about. And I hope that you've made it to this part of the video. I really hope so. If you put her into the White House and all her crimes are already known, it will be much, much worse. We are a stone throw away from nuclear war with Russia. This is not a joke. This is not a right-wing conspiracy, fear-mongering. No, this is a reality. We are this close to war with Russia. More dangerous than in any other moment during the Cold War. Like I said, at the end of this video, I'm going to post the videos to justify this. I hope that you take the 20 or 30 minutes out of your day to watch everything that I'm posting and to understand. I don't know if Donald Trump is going to do what he says he's going to do. I don't know whether he's going to sit down with Putin and he's going to actually negotiate and talk his way out of this. I don't know that. But I do know what she's going to do. And I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. I don't want the world to burn. If you are, if you're African American or you're Hispanic, Latino, which I'm Hispanic and Latino, if you are, you should be very pissed off at the Democrats. Hispanics and African Americans have voted, especially African Americans, over 90% for Democrats for how long? Almost 100 years. What have you gotten out of it? Yeah, the first black president, whose mother happens to be white, right? But the first half black president, we don't have a true black president, the first half black president, more African Americans are in jail than ever before during Barack Obama's term. More African Americans are unemployed. More African Americans have dropped out of high school. More African American, it's everything has gotten worse during his presidency. If we survive this, history will go back and we'll remember. And I want to be very clear. I'm not blaming Obama only. George Bush and Dick Cheney should have been tried for war crimes and executed in Europe for what they have done to this world. So I'm not happy. Look, I'm a conservative, and I love conservative ideology, most of it. I'm a little bit liberal when it comes to social issues, but for everything else, I'm conservative. And I think that the last, since Johnson, right, since Kennedy died, since Johnson, we haven't had a good president. Reagan came close. Reagan was decent. But all the other presidents, especially since Bill Clinton, George Bush, and then Obama, actually, it should be George Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Obama, and maybe Clinton again. These 5 presidencies, which span the lifetime of most people, history will remember this as one of the darkest days of our country. I can only hope that you take the time to look at the data, look at the facts, and do not put a criminal into the White House. If you feel that Trump is a racist and a bigot and sexist, fair enough. If that's your feeling, I disagree. But if that's your feeling, that's okay. Don't put him in the White House. Put Jill Stein. Put Johnson. Write somebody else in. Do not put Hillary Clinton into the White House. If you do, understand what you're getting. You're getting someone that's gotten away with crimes their whole entire life, now in charge of the most powerful military in all of human history. And she will use it. Please watch the following clips. Just watch the following clips. And if you disagree with me, comment below, tell me why you disagree with me, and I will research and I will show you. Everything I'm telling you, I can show you. I'm not making this up. It's not like the women that are now accusing Trump. You know, the 10 or 15 women that say, oh, Trump groped me on an airplane 30 years ago. And you waited until right before the presidential election to say something about it? Really? Because I don't believe you. That Trump said pussy? Fuck that, man. I've said a lot worse. Not only that, but I know you guys have said a lot worse too. Most of you anyway. So to say that we have all of a sudden a moral compass. Yeah, we have a moral compass that's spinning in circles right now. Right? Because he doesn't know where to point. Give him a chance. In 4 years, if he doesn't make good on his promise to go in there and to fix the Federal Reserve, to fix a lot of the things that are just dead broken, get rid of him. But give him a chance. Do not give her a chance. If you don't want to give either a chance, Johnson or Stein, learn about their policies, learn about their positions. At this point, randomly pick one because either one. But do not put Hillary Clinton into the White House. She has not done good. One of my friends, I'm not going to say his name, you know who you are, told me that she has done more good than he has. But he hasn't had an opportunity to. And yeah, I do admire being able to make a company. He got a $1 million loan from his father, and he turned it into over $10 billion. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, I wish my dad lent me $1 million too, but I probably wouldn't be able to turn it to 10 billion. She has not done good. She has not fought for women's rights. She has not fought for African Americans. She has not fought for anything. She calls African Americans super predators. And on top of that, there's an email, and I'm gonna put it somewhere around here, where she calls Arab people sand niggers. I mean, this is an email where she calls them sand niggers. You've got to be fucking kidding me. And they're calling him the racist? Man. Oh, one more thing. Yeah, you know how Obama said that he didn't know, and I'll put the video here as well, where I learned, like all of you did from TV, that she had a private email server. Hey, motherfucker, we have the emails of you emailing that fucking server, talking to her. If it's a private server, how the fuck did you know it existed to email it? Because we have the emails. So not only is Hillary Clinton lying, we know Barack Obama's lying too. It's disgusting. It's disgusting because it's not just the Democrats, the Republicans are just the same. I love conservative ideology. I hate the Republican Party and I hate the Democratic Party. Because really, they're just the party of each other. They're not the party of us. Give Trump a chance. It cannot get worse than what it is. Well, I guess under Hillary it can. Do not put her into office. Do not give that monster the keys to our nuclear weapons and the keys to the lives of our soldiers. Do not put her into the White House. There are other options. Please watch the remaining clips and tell me what you think. Thank you.
Hillary Clinton's email scandal has been haunting her throughout this race, and it's very likely to come up again at Monday's debate. 3 days before the showdown, the FBI released more notes on its investigation of the former Secretary of State. One of the findings? President Obama used a pseudonym to email with Clinton on her non-secured server. That raises questions about this previous claim from the president.
Mr. President, when did you first learn that Hillary Clinton used an email system outside the U.S. government for official business while she was Secretary of State?
The same time everybody else learned it through news reports.
During its investigation, the FBI showed one of the exchanges between the secretary and the president to Clinton's top aide, Uma Abedin, and she reportedly expressed shock, exclaiming, "How is this not classified?" The agency says Abedin then expressed her amazement at the president's use of a pseudonym and asked if she could have a copy of the email.
One of these ruthless folks who wasn't going to make a living on the land, and he was kind of around. Ended up drug deal with him. And then the president over there. Of course, he claimed that he did all this stuff. He took a lie detector test. I had to take a polygraph, which he passed, which forever just drove my face in polygraphs.
You differ with the current administration, with the Obama administration now, in having said you support a no-fly zone in Syria. If say you're president and that no-fly zone is in effect and a Russian jet flies into that no-fly zone and they refuse warnings to leave, do you give the order to shoot down a Russian jet?
Part of the reason I have proposed a no-fly zone as a coalition effort, not a United States solo effort, is to have conversations with the Russians at the table.
Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги. В ряде авторитетных западных средств массовой информации опубликованы утечки о дискуссиях в администрации Белого дома, возможности нанесения ракетных и воздушных ударов по позициям сирийских войск. История показывает, что нередко подобные вбросы оказываются прологом реальных действий. Особое беспокойство вызывает информация, что инициаторами данных провокаций являются представители Центрального разведывательного управления и Пентагона, которые еще в сентябре докладывали своему президенту о якобы управляемости боевиков оппозиции, а сегодня лоббируют кинетический сценарий в Сирии. Рекомендовал бы коллегам в Вашингтоне тщательно просчитать возможные последствия реализации подобных планов. Сегодня на вооружении сирийской армии имеются достаточно эффективные зенитно-ракетные комплексы, такие как С-200, ВУК и другие системы противовоздушной обороны, техническое состояние которых за прошедший год было восстановлено. Кроме того, напомню американским стратегам, что воздушное прикрытие российских военных баз в Мимиме и Тартусе осуществляется зенитно-ракетными системами С-400 и С-300, радиус действия которых может стать сюрпризом для любых неопознанных летающих объектов. Следует реально осознавать, что у боевых расчетов российских комплексов противовоздушной обороны вряд ли будет время на выяснение по прямой линии точной программы полета ракет и принадлежности их носителей. А все иллюзии дилетантов о существовании самолетов-невидимок могут столкнуться с разочаровывающей реальностью. И, наконец, самое важное. Сегодня большинство офицеров Российского центра примирения враждующих сторон работает на земле, доставляют гуманитарную помощь и ведут переговоры с главами населенных пунктов и вооруженных отрядов в большинстве сирийских провинций. Благодаря их деятельности 732 населенных пункта и сотни тысяч сирийцев вернулись к мирной жизни. Поэтому любые ракетные или воздушные удары по территории, контролируемой сирийским правительством, создадут явную угрозу российским военнослужащим. И в завершении обращаю внимание горячих голов, что после нанесения 17 сентября самолетами коалиции удара по сирийским войскам в Дейр-эз-Зоре мы приняли все необходимые меры для исключения любых подобных ошибок в отношении российских военнослужащих и военных объектов на территории Сирийской Арабской Республики.
I want to be clear to those who try to oppose the United States. I want to be clear to those who wish to do us harm. I want to be clear to those around the world who want to destroy our way of life and that of our allies and friends. The United States military, despite all our challenges, despite our op-tempo, despite everything we've been doing, will stop you and we will beat you harder than you've ever been beaten before. Make no mistake about that. Other countries, Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea, went to school on us. They closely watched how we fought in '91 and '03. They studied our doctrine, our tactics, our equipment, our organization, our training, and our leadership. And in turn, they revised their own doctrines, and they are rapidly modernizing the militaries today to avoid our strengths in hopes of defeating us at some point in the future. We can now, and we will remain in the future, retain the capability to rapidly deploy, and we will destroy any enemy, anywhere, anytime.
China's defense ministry says its military will provide training for Syrian armed forces. Beijing's defense ministry spokesman Wu Qian said the training would take place in China and it is aimed at easing the humanitarian crisis in Syria. Speaking at a monthly news briefing, Wu also said the Chinese military will provide the war-ravaged country with medical and nursing professional training, as well as medical equipment, medicine, and other humanitarian aid. This after senior Chinese military official Guan Yufei met with Syria's defense minister in Damascus. According to media outlets, Guan urged closer military ties with the Syrian government last week. Beijing has supported an air campaign by Russia against Takfiri terrorists in Syria, saying it will endorse any initiative that bolsters Syria's territorial integrity.
Syria. What about the option of controlling the airspace so that barrel bombs cannot be dropped?
All the options.
What do you think of that option, sir?
Right now, Senator, for us to control all of the airspace in Syria would require us to go to war against Syria and Russia. That's a pretty fundamental decision that certainly I'm not going to make.